Texas. They say everything's bigger here, and they're right. We've got big cars, big hearts, and even bigger steaks. This is beef country, Texas, home to the Alamo, the Cowboys, and the largest military installation known to man. So big, it has a big name. Fort Hood, the great place. It's got a Texas-sized podcast as well. And this is it, right here, Fort Hood's great big podcast. Yeehaw.
What?
What? Is that any way to open the show?
He is back.
It's the perfect way to open this show.
Okay. You're only on your third week of quarantine.
Oof.
That's right.
Yeah. But let's
COVID, it's the party that never ends.
yeah, but let's get this over with. You do have good news to share, right?
I do. I tested positive again.
Get out.
No, I didn't. But, and that was a bummer. I got that news on my birthday.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, that was a bummer. But then the next day, I get a message from my doctor
Mhm.
that says, "Hey, I by now you've noticed that you tested positive again, but let me tell you, you're gonna test positive for a few weeks going into the future, just because of the nature of the virus." He said, "You're no longer catchy, you're no longer contagious. You can go out into the world."
You are not a communicable person.
No.
Well, that's a good thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So I am
So
released from my prison.
next week we'll actually see you in the office.
Yeah, I'll actually be at work.
Wow.
Wow.
How about
Yeah.
that?
If I can
Okay.
remember how to get back there. It's been a while.
Well, you can always follow me.
Well, that's a good.
That's true.
That's a good present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
great.
day late, dollar short, but yeah.
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 Well, I'm glad. We're all glad that you're feeling better. We have certainly missed you.
Yeah, so am I. That was miserable. That was not COVID, nothing to fool around with.
Well, let's
It is
see.
not.
3 weeks at home and an ER trip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've been through it.
You've been through
Yeah,
the
I
ringer,
have.
brother.
I have, but I came out the other end balder than ever.
Yeah. Just get right back up and just keep on trucking.
Yep,
Trucking into our next episode.
That is true.
absolutely.
So, Brianna,
So what-
what's going on with you, girl?
With me?
Yeah.
Oh, not a whole lot. Just a lot of schoolwork. A ton of homework and papers.
You
and
recovered
tests.
from your 10-miler.
I am. Yes, I can walk normally again. My IT bands were not happy with me. So, yeah, I was limping for a little bit. But I took my first ice bath. And let me tell you, it was about as horrible as you can imagine.
That sounds fun.
I don't know that I could do that.
I did not want to. I only did it because I knew, I have so much schoolwork that I can't afford to be in so much pain because I cannot concentrate when I'm in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And I already have chronic pain. So a pretty severe pain from running long distance on top of that is just too much for me to be able to think logically and complete, learn something on my own. I have a hard time learning on my own.
Right.
So I've gotten better because nearly every class I've taken for my degree has been online, but I'm still a visual learner. So just reading stuff is difficult. So
Yeah, it doesn't work for me either.
yeah, so that's
Well,
the only reason I did it is because of schoolwork.
I feel for you, Brianna, because when I am in school, I also feel a great deal of pain. So I understand that.
I'm so glad you can relate.
Well, you guys are online edumacating.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah. So you were doing that all throughout COVID as well, Charlie?
it was awful. It
bet.
really was awful trying to keep up, and you can't think straight.
Yeah.
And I'd start typing something, and then I'd just completely get lost.
Yeah.
I'm thinking if you
Halfway
had
in
a
it.
creative writing class at that time, you'd probably ace it, right?
Yeah.
Well, no,
Lucid
it's
dreams.
not that. It's like you don't have any energy to do type.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Like your arms just like, oh, I'm out of energy to type.
Yes.
It's up to you, nose.
I feel that way when I get sick like that. Because I don't
So,
think I've gotten the flu, but
Playing around on guitar, you wouldn't think about it, but it's like, oh, I don't have enough energy I'm tired I'm done playing guitar. I don't have enough energy to sit here and push the button on the video game. It's just weird.
Yeah.
We're really weird.
Wow.
I believe that.
This too shall pass, right?
Oh yeah. Most of it's behind me by now.
That's
Most
good.
of it's behind me.
That's good. So, weight loss, you said you were down 20?
Yeah, I'm still haven't really gained anything. So I plan to
Nice.
keep heading to the gym and keep that up. And if I find myself plateauing, I'll seek someone out who has a different strain of COVID.
Exactly.
Hey, keep your eyes on the prize.
Yep.
So we do have an interesting show this week, Charles.
All right.
We are going to be talking Energy Action Month with an old friend of yours, the Bacon,
okay.
the Bacon Ninja herself.
Bacon Ninja.
Yeah,
Bacon Ninja.
yeah. Remember her?
That's great. Yeah, I remember her. The hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big green wig like Ronald McDonald,
Yeah.
except green wig. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and that's coming up right after this. Ghosts, ghouls, goblins will once again roam the roadways of Fort Hood Saturday evening, October 31st.
Nice alliteration. Do they pay you to write that stuff? Can you just get to the point?
Yeah, fine. Fort Hood leaders have authorized trick-or-treating on Halloween on post from 6 to 8 p.m. This isn't some mandatory fun. It's up to parents if they want to take their children out to trick-or-treat, and residents can decide for themselves if they want to pass out candy to the kids. For residents, if they want to forego the fun, all they have to do is leave the porch light off.
But what about the COVID?
Those celebrating this Halloween tradition are urged to follow CDC guidelines for social distancing, and wearing a Halloween mask doesn't check the block for wearing a protective mask against the virus.
I can see it, but what time can kids head out on Halloween again?
Trick-or-treating on post will run from 6 to 8 in the evening, Saturday, October 31st.
What are you dressing up as this year?
A balding, fat, middle-aged man.
Some superhero you are.
Here he is, Jeff Snarkworthy.
Thank you, yeah. If you've got a sudden, unexpected fever, you might have coronavirus. If you've traveled from or through a state where coronavirus is prevalent, you might have coronavirus. If that fever of yours, if it's accompanied by a feeling of shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, you might have coronavirus.
Coronavirus is steadily spreading across not only the United States, but the world. Being aware of the signs and symptoms of coronavirus helps keep us all safe. If you suspect that you may have been infected with the virus, call 254-553-6612. That's the Fort Hood Health Hotline, 254-553-6612.
If you've been around some place where people were infected, if you got that fever, shortness of breath, and a cough, you might have coronavirus.
Coronavirus. It's no laughing matter.
Hello?
It's now or never. Come hold me tight.
Hey, y'all. So, we're going to be talking about Energy Action Month.
Tell me more.
So we have with us two very special guests returning. Christine Luciano, the Fort Hood Education Outreach Coordinator, as well as Jackie Ferrer Perez, our Sustainability Program Manager.
Wow.
Yeah, the bacon panda.
The bacon panda.
I like that. Well, yeah, we are the dynamic duo. So we have the Bacon Ninja and the Panda Ninja.
Yeah.
So we're here on behalf of DPW Environmental and very excited to hang out with you PAO ninjas.
Yes.
So you guys are like the radio podcast ninjas, newspaper ninjas. We gotta
Yeah.
come up with some ninja names.
Kind of
for
a
you
little
guys.
bit of all of the above, whatever.
Yeah, some of us are more visible than others.
Some are more sneaky.
So the last time we had you guys on was actually the podcast before the state of Texas went, close the door,
Yes.
COVID. So a lot has happened in your life since then. Tell me about it,
yes.
Christine.
A lot of exciting adventures. I had a set of twins, Logan and Wyatt, that are absolutely amazing in my world. And actually, the Panda Ninja is actually the godmother of my
Oh,
twins.
my
Wow.
Honor and a
goodness.
privilege.
job.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was about 16 pounds that I unloaded.
Oh
they
Wow.
my gosh.
full
That's a lot of bacon.
size.
Wow.
That's a lot of bacon.
You are tough.
So they were like, "You have 2 bacon bits inside you." It's like, no. One was a Viking, one was a little bacon bit. So Wyatt was just a little over 8 pounds, and Logan was just a little over 7 pounds.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a lot of baby.
My
Yes,
goodness. Wow.
So, and what's great is they're not identical. So it makes it easy for my husband and I.
Right.
That's
And we-
really nice.
We both got like a mini version of each other. So it's pretty
Outstanding.
awesome. Yeah,
You got a 2-for-1.
yes, we did.
A BOGO.
So you haven't been back to work for that long, have you?
No, just since it's October. Sorry, you kind of lose track of
This
time
is
with this whole
October.
situation of everything going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I came back right after Labor Day, and I feel like I'm playing catch up, and it's a little nonstop. You know, with everything going on at work, and then at home with the twins, it's go go go. So
So
Wow,
you're
it's
not
ironic.
sleeping yet, are you?
what's sleep?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that one day, but we're going through that 4-month regression. So we were doing really great, getting those 2 solid hours, and now we're like 2 steps backward, and it's maybe an hour and a half in between feeding. So
Oh my goodness. Bless
Double your fun,
heart.
right?
yeah,
Wow. It's ironic you came back on Labor Day.
good point right there.
But why we are really here is we're here to talk about energy awareness and energy action month and all that. So
There's a lot of great things that are going on in October. So, you know, on behalf of Environmental, we want to talk about, you know, things that you can do at home and at work to conserve energy, talk about our Youth Environmental Ambassadors program. And if you're outside and exploring, this is a time that the monarchs are migrating through the area. So we kind of want to touch bases on several great things going on under the environmental umbrella this month. Right, Jackie?
Oh yeah, it's an exciting month. It's my birthday month, so of course October.
Yay.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Which her birthday was just a couple of days ago on the 13th.
Oh my goodness. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
So,
Hey,
you know,
my
you guys should,
birthday
like,
was on
sing
the
happy birthday.
15th.
huh?
My birthday was on the 15th.
Yes, it was.
Yes. Happy
birthday
belated
to you.
birthday,
Thank you.
Charlie.
Thank you.
Oh.
Stuck in the house.
Yeah.
That's right.
Tell me about that cake, though.
Oh, the cake was fantastic. My wife, she took 2 days to make a cake.
Aw.
It was a Black Forest cake. She did it all from scratch,
Wow.
all from scratch, and it was so light. Believe it or not, light and delicious. It blew me away. I thought it was professionally made.
Well, there you go.
You know, if we weren't quarantined, I would have sworn. She ran out and got it.
Yeah. That's great.
So COVID, since, you know, Charlie's sitting at home with all that, what kind of impact has it had, say, on the YAY program? You know, talk about the YAY
Yeah.
program and how you're able to do it in a pandemic.
Exactly. So, yay, exclamation mark, Youth Environmental Ambassadors Program. We're trying to encourage students of all ages, from kindergarten to seniors in high schools, to lead as environmental stewards.
Sure.
And we know that the dynamic of the classroom environment, it's very different, and there's a lot of restrictions. So we don't have the opportunity to go into the classroom. We're trying to work on creating some virtual videos and learning opportunities and Zoom presentations so we can still reach out to kids. But we're also trying to encourage schools and students to either lead in their community by doing simple initiatives that range from energy conservation to recycling to litter cleanups to even showing their artistic skills. So with October being Energy Action Month, a couple of the initiatives that we have with YAY, we have the Lights Out Lunch, which starts this month. And that ends in April, which is when Earth Day is. And it's also Sustainable Environment Month for Fort Hood and the neighboring communities.
So eating in the dark?
well, if you've got some windows, it's not so bad. You can have some of that natural light in. It's relaxing and soothing and everything. So, we're trying to encourage schools to, if they're in the cafeteria, to turn off the lights if they have those open space, those windows, or if they're in the classrooms, a lot of the classrooms have the windows, to turn off the lights, once a month, to start with one simple little action. But we want that to become a regular habit. And we hope that when they're doing that in the classroom, that they will apply that at home. We hear growing up every time, hey, whenever you leave the room, make sure you turn off the light. And we would just want them to get into those daily habits there. And hopefully, that has a domino effect to help with your parents, with teachers, and then within the community to do their part. One of the other initiatives that we have going on this month is the Texas Recycles Poster Contest. So anybody can show off their artistic skills and highlight anything from recycling to energy conservation to pollution prevention, anything with the environmental realm of showing that artwork. And we want to get that message out to the community. So those are a couple of things going on right now where you can still have social distancing, still comply with the COVID restrictions, and still do your part. And one of the other initiatives we have coming up next month, November 15th, is America Recycles Day. So we're trying to encourage schools to look within their footprint to see if they have a recycle program in their classroom, within their school, and if not, then figure out a way to implement one. And funding is a challenge for a lot of individuals because they're like, well, I can't buy the blue bin. I can't have that. Get creative. We've had some amazing students, especially at Audie Murphy Middle School here on Fort Hood, that repurpose cardboard boxes with some really creative messages to get the word out, to get individuals to recycle. So that's an initiative that starts November 15th, ends December 15th. And the goal is to kickstart a recycle program within your school's footprint, measure and see how much you collect. And then we award $200 to the top school that collects the most recyclables based on the population.
Wow.
So, we want to recognize the great work because there are some great things going on in schools right now, but we just don't hear about it. And we just want to get awareness about that.
Sure.
So, these are free initiatives. We have resources that we can provide to the schools. We have some educational materials. So we want to help educate within the greater Fort Hood area. So, it's not only just the Fort Hood schools, Killeen, all the way out to Gerald, to Lampasas, to Temple, to Salado. It's the greater Fort Hood area. So a huge impact that we can have. And so we just need everybody to do their part to help out.
Hey, you brought up recycling, and you actually penned an article in the Sentinel talking about the challenges of single-stream recycling here on Fort Hood. I need you to address one of the comments that there was a comment on Facebook that said, I see the garbage trucks, and they're picking up both of them, and they're dropping them in the same truck.
Okay.
So
I would like to say
some of the residents aren't very happy.
Yes. But I want people to know that in family housing, Fort Hood Recycle Center is not the entity that picks up those materials.
Right. You're not the trash collector.
Yes, it is Inland Services who has the contract on Fort Hood for the landfill and curbside recycling at family housing.
Okay.
So that is separate from the Recycle Center, from Fort Hood Recycle. And I will say, one of the things we want to bring awareness is that there is contamination challenges, and we have seen it all. And, you know, some of the images that we share are graphic, but it's to have that impact to make
The
you
most graphic ones didn't make the paper.
Oh, no. They made it on the Fort Hood Recycle page, so you can go ahead and like that page to stay up to date. But that's the reality. We are getting animal parts. We are getting dead animals. We're getting
that's crazy.
Sometimes bloody material that's going through.
The forceps made it.
Yes, and then other items, live ammunition. What are some other things that you've seen, Jackie, with some of the photos?
We've gotten some vials of anesthetic, that really odd things that you would think anybody would say that's not gonna be recycled. That shouldn't be recycled.
Yeah.
Somehow, the decision's made and it ends up on the line. So,
and, you know,
and it puts our employees at risk.
Yeah, and single stream does not mean everything.
Right.
So when you have those items with contamination, something that's bloody, you're going to have blood all over paper, plastic, cardboard, cans. That's items that we have to throw into the trash because they've been contaminated.
Right.
So think about it. It's like, okay, ching, ching, ching. Oh, it's money going away. We're throwing it away. And on average, Fort Hood Recycle gives $100,000 right back directly to the Fort Hood community.
Sure.
So the more that we can recycle, the more we can give back to support soldier and family events. But, you know, single stream does not mean everything. Right. So it's, you know, we had to sort our material previously. We had to have cardboard in one container, paper in another, and then you had plastic and aluminum cans in another container. So you had 3 different bins. Right. And we said, hey, we want to make it easy and convenient. But unfortunately, we've kind of gone away from that. And everybody's like, well, I'm just going to throw it in there. Someone's going to sort through it. Right. No, that's not the way to do it. And one of the other things we're seeing is wish cycling. People are like, oh, go in there. I just wish you'll get recycled. Right. It doesn't happen like that. It would be awesome if we could just snap our fingers and wish that we would have clean, quality recyclables. That would be amazing. But, you know, our team members are hand sorting these materials.
Right.
So, you know, we have equipment that helps separate, okay, we're going to put paper and cardboard on one line, the metal cans and plastic on another line, but they have to sort that to different piles that we have. So, you know, if anybody wants to come out to the recycle center, we will coordinate. We would love to have a unit, a small family, have them come out and see what the operation is. And then you can also see the contamination challenges that we have. And, you know, some of the other common things we have, food waste and diapers. So many dirty diapers. So, yeah, no.
You can relate to that now, Mom,
I
right?
I can so much. So, no, that's not recyclable. So we truly need everybody to help do their part for Fort Hood, for the recycle program, for our team.
Okay. Jackie, what about sustainability?
So one of the things that we wanted to talk about today was the monarch migration, and it's happening right now, and we're pretty close. We may have passed the peak. We're not really sure because it varies from year to year. We started the program in 2017, and we tag all the monarchs that we can capture, and we process them and collect data. And it's really valuable because the monarch has been petitioned to be listed as endangered.
Really?
And yes, and we're actually pending a decision in December of 2020 to see whether or not it's going to be listed as endangered. And we try to stay ahead of that through the AIM program. So prior to my current role, I was
AIM program. What is that?
So AIM stands for Adaptive and Integrative Management.
Okay.
In my previous role, I was the manager for that program.
Okay.
And so now Charlie and Chelsea Plimpton have taken over the program, and it's even more successful. In our first year, we tagged about 1,000 monarchs. Wow. And so we were really proud of that. And every year we try to tag more and more. I think the most we've tagged in a year is around 2,700 monarchs. And so the goal is 3,000. Right. And so we're just trying to get to 3,000. But it's an awesome program. The data is really helpful because, as you know, when something gets listed as endangered, it can place some restrictions on military training, and so we try to stay ahead of that. Sure. And the way to do that is by, starting conservation early when you already know that the species is of conservation concern. And if we start implementing some conservation actions, and so we can use that as a bargaining tool when if we have to get to the point where we enter consultation with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. They see that we already have work on the ground, and so they take that into consideration when we decide what the restrictions could look like. So that's really the main goal of that program. They work with a variety of other species as well that are of conservation concern. It's not just the monarch, but that's the major focus during this time of the year. So it's a great program. It's we've chaired the National Military Fish and Wildlife Association Pollinator Working Group for the past 3 years. We were recognized through them as a model program for military installations. And we're also certified as a monarch or a wrangler for the Texan by Nature Association. Who was
wrangler?
Yes, and it was founded by our former First Lady, Laura Bush, and so that was really important to us. And we have a variety of partnerships that support our effort. Monarch Joint Venture is one of our partners. The tagging portion of it is supported by,
Monarch Watch.
Monarch Watch, I'm sorry. So Monarch this, Monarch that. But Monarch Watch, and it's been around for decades.
Right.
And so right now we are the largest tagging operation in the nation.
Wow.
Wow.
So-
How do you tag a monarch?
That's amazing.
So it definitely takes some ninja
Little
moves.
bitty pins. No.
Ninja moves. And if you guys are not busy and you want to come and join
Paintball
us,
guns.
we're actually going to be tagging monarchs tomorrow.
Whoa.
Last year, this time, based on Facebook memories, thank goodness for technology sometimes, a couple days ago, I was out there for an hour and I captured 30 monarchs. Jackie was out there at that same time. She captured over 100 monarchs.
Wow.
So it's really about technique and skill and ninja moves, of course. So, it's amazing to see our team of biologists and volunteers out there in the field with the nets chasing after these monarchs.
Oh, you're not grabbing them by hand?
No.
Okay,
Well,
right.
I don't know. Have you done that? I mean, she has
Wow,
done it.
you
Jackie,
are ninja.
Jackie is the ninja. She's
You got to be
quite
smooth to do
experienced
that.
with
Charlie
that.
is really good too. Charlie gives me a run for my money, that's for sure. And Chelsea is really good at maintaining the organization of all of the data that comes in because it is lengthy.
Right.
But yeah, so the way we tag monarchs, and so we go out in areas and we know where they are because of the research we've done. Research on monarchs, this focused has never been done before on Fort Hood, and it's amazing because whenever they migrate from the north and they make that shot all the way down to Mexico, which for some could be up to 3,000 miles. They funnel, once they get to Texas, they actually funnel through our area. So we have the densest population of monarchs that come through during migration. So that affords us the opportunity to
Is it a
to catch
coincidence
so
that we
many.
get so many birds coming through this area too? Every
Yes,
fall and
it is a
spring?
migratory
Either
pathway.
going one way or the other?
Yes, it's a migratory pathway for sure. Yes.
Okay.
So we capture them with a net. We know where they are because we've identified what resources they need when they're here. Shelter, water, and flowers for them to nectar and feed on. So we have designated areas that we go and capture them. Once we capture them, we take them back to our processing station, and Monarch Watch has designed specialized stickers with a certain kind of adhesive that adheres to the wing.
Wow.
And
Whoa.
and you position it onto the wing in a specific spot. It's called the discal cell, and it looks like, if you ever look at a monarch up close, it's in the shape of a mitten.
Sure.
When we take other data, but it's basically a sticker, and we refer to it as a license plate because it has a specialized number, so you can know exactly which individual that is.
You guys have been doing this for a couple of years. What do your researchers or your team, how do they feel? Is everybody high-fiving when you find one that is already tagged?
So it's good that you bring that up because in the first year alone, we actually had 11 of our monarchs from Fort Hood recovered in the sanctuary in Mexico.
Wow.
So that was really rewarding for us,
Yeah.
and that was from 1,000. And so every year it varies, but I think to date that's the most that have been recovered in one single tagging season.
Wow.
And so we'll see what this year brings. They're at about 1,500. They're at over 1,500 tagged so far.
How is that information useful?
So the data that we collect helps us identify their level of fitness from each individual. And so whenever we find out which individual made it to Mexico, that kind of gives us a little bit of insight. The only downside to that is it's a relatively small sample size. 11
Right.
monarchs isn't going to tell us a whole lot. It gives us a piece of the picture.
Sure.
And so the way it helps us is we utilize this data. We feed some of the data back to Monarch Watch, and they bring all the puzzle pieces together. And so one part of the AIM program is to really foster conservation beyond the installation's footprint. Because if we have that wide range impact is what we need to make sure that at least a species doesn't get listed, because the monarch is across the entire United States. If we're a small piece of that puzzle, then we hope to, foster big changes.
Wow.
And anyone can participate in the tagging effort. So Monarch Watch, you can go onto their website. They have information of how you can be a citizen scientist. You can order a kit with the tagging stickers, and then you can see how to properly catch them, tag them, and then release them.
Wow.
So it's something that anybody can participate in.
Okay. Very cool.
So are you guys going to go and catch some butterflies with us?
I'm
tomorrow?
already heading
I mean,
out of
I know. So I know
you're hitting me up the day before.
You've been getting like 2 or 3 miles in.
I
You
got
can
COVID.
definitely get probably, I
Yeah.
would say being out there with us, you'll probably do a 10K.
Oh my gosh. I was going to say, how much of a workout is that?
It's quite a bit of a workout when you're
Wow.
chasing after them. It's surprising how fast they are.
Yeah.
And
I'd be afraid I would like hurt one.
No.
Yes, everybody. That's how we were initially too.
Yeah.
Because if you think of a butterfly, you're thinking something that's
Oh,
fragile.
it's fragile. Yeah.
But man, they're very well. This particular species is very. It can handle some handling, and they're perfectly fine. We take them back to the station, and we have them in these special glassine envelopes where they can just hang out there until we're ready to process them, and we let them go. And we have had minimal mortality rates. I mean,
Wait a
maybe
second.
1 or
Wait a
2.
second. Wait a second. They're hanging out in an envelope.
Yes, it's a glassine envelope.
That
it's used
can't
for
be very
research.
hanging out-ish.
Yeah, they're fine. They're positioned in there in their natural, in the natural way that they would be if they had their wings up and closed. And we don't hang on to them for too long. We actually organize them in the order that we capture them to make sure that we release them in a timely manner.
Wow.
Maybe that's why they seem so fast, is they don't want to get put in an envelope.
Yep. They know what we're up to.
That's crazy.
And if you want to see some pollinator activity with the monarchs and the queen butterflies,
Now we're
which
talking,
which is very similar to the monarch. We do have a pollinator sanctuary that the AIM program has on Fort Hood. So we have a bird, bee, bat, butterfly garden right across off of Rod and Gun
Bird,
Cup.
bee, bat.
You say that
Say
5
that
times.
3 times
Bird,
fast,
bee,
yeah.
bat, butterfly.
Yes, I love it.
And so right across from that is our education center. And then we also have a garden of native nectar sources that we did as a project with local high school students. That's the shape of a butterfly last year. You can see quite a bit of activity with bumblebees, several different species of butterflies. Anybody's encouraged to go out there and explore that area.
And we have a Facebook page too, the AIM program Facebook page. You can follow that page and see all the new flowers that are blooming, and that also gives you an opportunity to reach out to Charlie and Chelsea if you want to coordinate a visit to the garden, and they can provide some guidance and show you all the native flowers of Texas that you can use in your
cool.
gardening as well.
Yeah, very cool.
Wow.
How is Fort Hood environmentally? How green are we? Come on.
We're very green. I mean, we have an amazing team. We have so many great initiatives, and this is just a couple that we've highlighted. With Fort Hood leading a lot with these efforts. Fort Hood's part of a regional partnership called the Centex Sustainable Communities Partnership that includes the installation in neighboring communities from Harker Heights, Coppers Cove, Killeen, Belton, Lampasas, Gatesville, and Nolanville. And so, we collaborate together on initiatives, and we try to support each other on our outreach efforts. So we actually just had a meeting yesterday to try to talk about, with the new environment with COVID, how can we highlight the different initiatives and programs going on within our community? Because, the impact of the greater Fort Hood area, a lot of our soldiers, our families, and retirees, they're all in these neighboring communities. And so we're all just working on the same mission to encourage everybody to be environmental stewards. So, Fort Hood's green, but it's a regional impact where we need everybody involved.
Right.
Yeah, we're very green. We've been recognized on multiple occasions. So there's always an opportunity to do more. So we're always exploring those options and trying to be better.
Right. Parting shots? Come on, Bacon Ninja.
Parting shots?
Yeah. You get the final word. Go ahead.
So I encourage you to like the Fort Hood Recycle page. It's a great resource, and we don't highlight only what's going on with recycle, but everything under the environmental umbrella. So, we'll highlight about the YAY program, ! Excited, Youth Environmental Ambassadors, ! And all the different initiatives with that of how we're trying to encourage youth in the greater Fort Hood area. And we'll also highlight initiatives with the AIM program. So, like those 2 pages, see the resources and the sites available on Fort Hood that you can explore and get more involved in. One of the other things I would like to encourage people to do is to download the Fort Hood Recycle app. It's a really great resource where you can search more than 600 items to see where it goes in the blue bin, in the recycle bin. If it's taken to the recycle center, goes to another facility called a classification unit, or if it's something that you can possibly compost or have to put in the trash. Okay. So, we have resources available to help people be successful. And then if you have any suggestions, we encourage you to share that with us. If there's a way that we can better communicate our message, a way that we can better reach out to the community, we want that insight. So one other thing I'd like to add is one of the new campaigns we'll be pushing out to Fort Hood Family Housing, and in our campaign is we have the bin family.
Bin family?
Yes. So we have the recycle bin family. We have daddy bin, mama bin, and twin bins.
Twin bins. Go figure. So I wonder who came up with that one.
So, be on the lookout for that. And it's part of the bin family. The bin family is going to be sorting out your recycle questions.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
So that's something we're going to be pushing on Fort Hood Recycle. So every week we'll highlight something that people might think it's recyclable that isn't. So plastic utensils, is it something you put in the recycle bin or not?
I would say no.
Dave, what do you say?
Depends the color.
The color?
No, but it's something that you don't. So it's something it's single use. You throw it in the trash. So we encourage you, okay, maybe let's try to avoid single-use plastics.
Right.
So there are some folks that thought, hey, since it's plastic, I can just put it in the recycle bin.
Right.
And so they were unknowingly doing the wrong thing. So that's part of our education campaign. So be on the lookout for the bin family.
I love it.
No used pizza boxes. Right?
So actually...
Oh, here we go.
So we can take pizza boxes.
So
they're cardboard.
Yes. So as long as there's not you don't leave your cheese all over there and their pizza crust and 5 slices of pizza in there.
When you dropped it and all the cheese
When
is
I
on
eat
the
a
box
pizza,
anyway?
there's nothing left.
So your pizza box, we want. Dave's pizza box, no.
No, not so much.
Charlie, he's probably questionable.
That Charlie,
He's
you're
always
questionable.
I've always been that way.
Yeah, exactly.
So right here. So we're learning a few things that you might have thought wasn't recyclable, but it is recyclable. So that's why we want to encourage people to follow our page and just help learn and get educated on how to do right.
How do you find the app again?
So it's 3 words spelled out, Fort Hood Recycle. You can download that from your Apple Store or your Play Store on Google, and it's an excellent resource. Same name for the recycle page, too, on Facebook.
Very cool.
Nice.
Ladies, thank you very much for coming on the
Thank
show
you for having us.
again.
Yes.
Had a blast. This was awesome. We should do the next one should be on the boys' first birthday, and we can talk about the adventures that have happened since then.
Oh, that might be a good time to talk about compost too, because we might be at a place where we're ready for
Hey, we
more.
might actually have an Earth Day in 2021, right?
We'll probably have a virtual one. So you have to think about the academic year.
I hate 2020 and it's going to carry
So-
over.
Yes. So, with a lot of schools having the restrictions, and we're just trying to adapt with the environment going on, we'll probably do something virtual. And so we'll have activities where we'll encourage individuals to get out in the community. We might do some small sessions at different environmental facilities, but we're having to cap them at 15 or 20, depending on where we're hosting our events. So
That's tough.
So maybe 2022 we'll be able to bring the school kiddos back out onto Fort Hood, because we have enjoyed that. We've done that for like 15 some years, and we've had that opportunity, and it's been amazing to see the impact and know the impact that we've had on thousands of students.
Not to mention,
in
I
the
didn't
area.
get the green, Ronald McDonald wig today.
The Bacon Ninja. I should have worn my green afro.
that?
So,
She barely slept, so I think we can
True.
get her a pass on that one.
True. But ladies, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you so much.
thank you guys.
And
we had a blast.
We will have closing thoughts right after this.
Masks on for safety, masks on for safety. In the store, you walk in the door. Masks on for safety, masks on for safety. Day or night, do what's right.
Look, bad jingles aren't going to stop the coronavirus, but wearing a mask or a face covering can help lower the chance of infection or spread. So do your part and mask up. Or we may just have to keep singing.
Masks on for safety, masks on for safety. Be a mouth and noser, or else you're a poser.
Do what's right, save a life, wear a mask.
Flurmit the Sock here for the Thrift Savings Spam. Is it meat? Who knows?
Cut.
What?
Flurmit, baby, look at this script. It clearly says Thrift Savings Plan.
Oh, yeah.
It's about saving money, not lunch meat. Let's try this again.
Thanks, Steve. Flurmit the Sock here for the Thrift Savings Plan.
Got it, baby.
Soldiers and DoD civilians, listen up. Are you socking away a little bit of money each month in your TSP? What? You're not? They call me crazy. The Thrift Savings Plan is a great way to make sure that you've got the supplemental income you need when you get old and wrinkly. Plus, the government can match up to 5% of your contribution. That's a free money. Make it rain, Uncle Sam. Make it rain. So look out for your future and sock some money away in the Thrift Savings Plan account. Visit www.tsp.gov for more information. You can retire like an ex-prince moving to LA, or in my case, his wife.
That's a wrap.
Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast. 50% of the time, they're right. 50% of the time.
Coming on strong on a Monday. I feel so low. Won't be long till one day.
Hi.
Hello.
It's me. It's trick or treat.
Wait, is that a knock knock joke or something?
Oh no, he's knocking on
Halloween
your door.
is coming.
Halloween is coming.
Halloween is coming. Halloweeny.
And Fort Hood, like the city of Killeen, is actually having Trick or Treat on Post.
Yay!
Yes.
6 to 8 p.m. on Saturday, October 31st.
Nice.
Yeah.
You think it's going to be cold?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, this is Texas, though. It could be 95.
Yeah.
That's true.
I like when it's a little
No,
warmer.
you know what? I think we've seen the last 90-degree day. I think we're out of them.
Yeah, sure.
Why are you laughing
I
at
don't
me?
think so. It's going to come back. I feel like.
Really?
I think so.
90s?
Yeah.
I mean, we just had some.
Yeah, we did.
But then the temperature went, yeah.
Yeah, it does that.
So, Halloween,
Mhm.
right? I grew up in Wisconsin. I remember as a little kid, it snowed on Halloween.
Wow.
Right? And so you would have your costume and then a winter coat over that, so it kind of ruined the whole effect,
Yeah.
right? Here's a parka. Hey, look, it's a ghost
You're
wearing
allowed-
a parka.
Yeah.
But I got to ask you guys, and I'll share mine first. All right. Let's talk about your most embarrassing Halloween costume that your mom forced you to wear. I'm going to really date myself. There was a kid show with a puppet, right? When I was a little kid, and this is way before both you guys.
Nothing wrong with puppets.
Yeah, I get it. My mom dressed me up as a lamb.
Aww.
You were Lamb Chop?
I was Lamb Chop.
I love
That's
Lamb
great.
Chop.
I was, you know who Lamb Chop was, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you don't.
Did you do the
Lamb
voice?
Chop.
You know who Lamb Chop is?
Yeah.
Oh my God! All right, so
That was
Did
like
you do the voice?
no,
Oh, yeah.
no.
my mother
It's
loved
unfortunate.
that show. So
Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop.
Yeah, no. I had to go as Lamb Chop. I think I was 7. It was awful.
yeah, that show was so
If
good.
I was 4, I probably wouldn't have cared.
Yeah,
but I remember
exactly.
it. You know, I
Mhm.
remember that, and it was traumatic. I'm still scarred today.
Oh no. My mom never forced me to wear something that I didn't want to wear, actually. But I would have to wear something in tandem with either my twin sister or my older
Right.
sister.
Right.
So I remember not always liking that because sometimes we'd have to do what my older sister wanted to wear, and I didn't necessarily want to do that. That's all I can really recall. But I always enjoyed, for the most part, what I dressed up as.
Well, you're into dress up anyway.
Yeah, I love dressing up. So that's another reason why I feel like I don't have an embarrassing story, because I'm like, yes, dressing up is fun.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, my mom used to let me. I picked.
Oh, you got to pick?
But I got to pick. Oftentimes it was handmade.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think one of
Mhm.
my favorite things that I ever did, and it's probably quite awful, but in 1986 I dressed up as Keith Hernandez, and I was Keith Hernandez.
The New York Met Keith Hernandez or the
Yes,
St. Louis
the-
Cardinal Keith Hernandez?
The New York Met. He was with the Mets
Okay.
at the time.
Wow.
The New York Met, Keith Hernandez, and I believe nobody knew who I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that. Did you have the
but
mustache?
I did the school parade. Yes, I did the mustache, everything. Did the school parade. It's Keith Hernandez.
And they had no clue.
Not a clue.
Well, you could have got a
Little
bowl
baseball
cut and
bat.
been Pete Rose.
I had a bowl cut once. I remember my dad. He took me to a barber college
Oh, boy.
to get my hair cut. And when I came out, they showed me the picture, I'm always very congenial. You know,
Right.
I'm never gonna be like wow, rah. So I had the haircut, and they're showing it to me, and I thought my thought was I looked like Pete Rose in 1972. This is my hair, but I also had a mullet at one point. I had the Rob Dibble. It was a pitcher.
Yeah.
I had the Rob Dibble mullet
Oh,
at one time, and that
man.
was intentional. That was intentional.
Talking about bad haircuts, I'm going to bring up one
Yeah.
more traumatic moment of my life.
Oh, no.
Mhm.
I'm in the barber chair. I think I'm 5. And my dad was in the National Guard. He had been called up, blah, blah, blah. Dad comes back, and Dad's wearing a flat top because that's what they wore back in the early 60s. And, okay, Dad takes youngest son to the barber.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you're in the booster seat, and you can't see what they're doing. They're just doing their thing, and you're like, okay. And then they spin you around, and you can see yourself in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know I have a really round head, right? Charlie Brownish,
Mhm.
right? They gave me a flat top.
Oh, no.
And back then they called it a butch haircut, right?
And
that they gave me that nickname, and that stuck on me for about 5-6 years.
Oh,
Wow.
Until middle school.
that's awful.
I cried like a baby.
That's
You know, I was when I was 5, but
that
you know,
sucks.
yeah, I saw the haircut and I went, no.
Oh, I have such bad hair experiences too.
Ah.
I wish I could have bad hair experience.
Yeah, I don't have those anymore.
Think of the past.
But I still have the round head.
Spooky.
Now I have Charlie Brown's haircut too.
There you go. Full circle.
Yeah, there you go. So, are you gonna go out on Halloween? And what would you go as? I saw you as a pumpkin in a pumpkin patch.
Yes. I will do something. I haven't decided yet. Maybe a vampire.
You have options, don't you?
I have so many.
And Charlie?
Yeah.
Are you planning to dress up on Halloween?
No.
Nah.
No, I don't have any costumes, to be perfectly honest, and I'm too cheap to go buy one.
Well, there you go.
I could do the ghost in a sheet, the Charlie Brown, cut a bunch of holes in it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But then you'd have to cut a hole in a sheet.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Yeah,
That's some expensive thread count, right?
that is. I'll get a shirt that says COVID survivor, and that will be my.
Yeah.
That would be my costume.
That's not as scary though.
Yeah. And a little, a little zombie-ish makeup, right?
That's true.
So, we're wrapping up another show, Charlie.
Mm-hmm. Last one from my house.
I know. Parting
Yay.
thoughts? You have the floor, sir.
Yeah, don't get COVID.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
And with
Don't
those,
do it.
Yeah.
and with those words of wisdom, dear listeners, it's a wrap. All right. Take care. See you next time.
Turn off your lights.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Do that stuff.
Driving down the road.